Hey all, welcome back to the channel for part 6, the penultimate part of my collection showcase. And this time we're going to cover everything from Predaking here over my left shoulder up to and including the Dinobots over my right shoulder. Be warned though, when we get to the Beast Wars character, someone wanted to do the talking himself. Think egomaniacal. Either way, from Predaking to Dinobots, that's what we're going to cover this time around in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts. That's right, I'm Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you are at it, that's right, hit that notification bell. A, because it helps me a ton, but B, because it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, Transformers, Collectors, NL, and the Autobot family. Have a look for me everywhere across social media. All those links, man, are down in the description below. And we're going to do the second to last of our episodes here, looking at my entire collection. I looked at the secondary collection basically in episode 1. I looked at some quirky things in episode 2, along with a few extras that have either been replaced or are going to serve as replacements, and a couple of main line or main collection items that I have that aren't on the shelves. Then we move to the shelf behind me, the one that you guys are used to seeing. And in part 3 we looked at the bottom 3 shelves. Part 4 we looked at the next 3 shelves. Part 5 we looked at the next 3 shelves, I think it gets a little murky as we get going. Needless to say, we're to the point now where we're actually into the shelves that you guys can see and that you guys have kind of come to know behind me. And while I said we're going to start with Predaking and go to the Dinobots, there's a lot to cover in between there as well. So sit back, relax, and we're going to head over to the shelving and take a closer look at some of these guys. And see what I mean? I told you it'd be another version of Predaking. This, of course, is the Unique Toys Warlord. This is my version of Predaking. It scales the closest to the Combiner Wars Combiners, which is the scale I like. If they were to do a downsized version of the Titan Predaking, I might be tempted. This guy looks great. He definitely has his issues. They make great Predacons. They make an okay Predaking, but there's some joints here that definitely should have been stronger than what they are. Nevertheless, if I never have another Predaking of the right size come along that fills the need for me, I'm more than happy with this guy, and I got him for about the price of a Combiner Wars Combiner. I really couldn't go wrong with it. But that's not really where we're going to start. We're going to come over here, and we're going to kind of start right here. This, of course, is, well, it's not actually the box set that was God Ginrai. No, this is a really weird amalgam, I suppose, of LG-42 God Bomber, Magnus Prime. We have PC-15, the little I don't know what you call it, engine, the little Power Master guy, and PC-16, which is the cab that turns into the robot, as well as, thanks to Event Progenitor, the like toy hack set for this set. So there's a lot that's gone in here. The only thing really that's missing is PC-18. It's funny, very recently someone, taking this back, someone said to me, please, transform your Transformers well and correctly. And they were watching the like sticker review, the Toy Hacks review, and they're right, but like I really wasn't that concerned. I wanted to show what was put on, Ginrai, Super Ginrai, and God Bomber, and then together. But when I done the together part, I just laid God Bomber there. I didn't even attach them, so it was rough, but I explained that it was rough, so I don't know really why somebody would note it unless they weren't listening. I don't know. But that's the two biggest ones on that shelf. In between them, you will see that we have both members of Dragonstorm. I like Dragonstorm. I think the molding is beautiful. Now, he's not made up of 9 or 10 or 12 or whatever it was that made him up in the film, but you know what, these two are pretty cool. I have no problem with them at all. If we kind of move things down just a touch, we can actually focus now on the deluxes here, that being Chromar, Aragon, and I was sort of lucky because I didn't get the 3-pack from Amazon, but again, Event Progenitor worked with me so that I could get Aragon from a pack that he had. I really appreciated that. Zetar, I love all three of them. I think that those weaponizers are great. Love all three of them. You will also notice that we have Siege, Chromia. I don't like that mold at all. I think it's so poorly done. Then right down front we have some of the Micromasters. See if I can even recall now who's who here. I don't know, Road Police is there, Wheel Blaze is there, Over Air is there. We already looked at Ground Shaker earlier. Maybe Crate Maker and Fireline I see. That might be it. I don't know. Who am I missing? Oh, Red Hot or Red Heat, if you will, is there. We have Powertrain is there. So there's a ton of them there. Then if we move over a little bit on that same shelf, we actually have a couple of more oddities. One is this Autobot pin. Another is this sticker activity set that I haven't opened. I don't know why. Probably because it's stuck in behind God Ginrai and Predaking most of the time. And for a time, this cross-stitched framed Autobot symbol that I got from a local convention, the one that I was actually able to attend, it kind of served as like a channel logo for a while, because how often do you see something kind of homespun like that? But that's it for that one. The next shelf is pretty much combiners and maybe a questionable prime. Whoa, pardon the cut, but ease back there, cowboy, because we do have a couple of items that I forgot from earlier that need to be addressed, and now is a good time to do it, since that shelf included a couple of quirky things. And these are quirky things. Both of these mugs. This one is the heat activated one, Autobot symbol on this side, and kind of a like schematic of Optimus on this side, as well as my travel mug that I think has, I guess it's Power Master Optimus Prime. I don't know, maybe you could call it Ginrai. But both of those mugs are also in my collection, both given to me by Starscream Wife. And the other thing, and like, I had it a couple of times already to show, and I even had it on the floor, and somebody may have already noticed it, even though I didn't reference it. But I also have my tie clip, or not my tie clips, my cufflinks. There you go, my Autobot insignia cufflinks. I wore them on my wedding day, but you know what? They're my cufflinks, and I just wanted to kind of point those three items out because they are part of the collection. Okay, back to the plastic, onto the next shelf. And our next shelf is largely a combiner shelf, but I did mention a questionable prime. We'll get to it in a moment. At this point, I've shown you guys a Fall of Cybertron Bruticus. I've shown you Bruticus, Menasor, and Orthea. I've shown you my custom Lio Kaiser, as well as a custom combining form for Deathsaurus. So I do have a few combiners, and I'm pretty happy with them. I even showed you a Volcanicus. This shelf, however, is kind of where the majority of them reside. You know, kind of conglomerated in one place. Of course, we have Defensor over here, and I didn't opt to get the deluxe size version of Groove. I'm okay with Groove being a smaller vehicle and being a chest plate. It works, whatever. Plus, I like Rook. I think Rook was a interesting new character. I was happy to have him, and it's weird. Like, Rook is one of these guys that, like, in the aftermarket, like, he is so hard to get and goes for crazy money and stuff. It's the same sort of thing as Off-Road, and I don't know why. Like, they're fine, but I don't know why he would pay a premium for them. Next to him we have Abominus, my custom Abominus, and I totally dig this guy. Some people have said, no, he's so loose, he can hardly stand, and all this stuff. Not mine. Not mine. I think it's a great torso, to be honest with you. Some people have asked, am I getting the Seacons? As far as I know, unless somebody knows something I don't know, there was only one store in Canada that had the Seacons. They sold out pretty much immediately. I don't really know a way to get them now. Not where I'm to in the world. It's unfortunate. I'd like to have the Seacons, but what can you do? You know, what can you do? If it's not there for you to buy, it's not there for you to buy. And right now, things like exchange rate for, you know, like online places in the U.S. and whatever, it's like the exchange rate's really, really bad now. I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess, sometime. We have my custom Computron. I love Computron. I did a custom face from the faceplate that was on him. I prefer this version over the Unite Warriors version because I'm happy to have Scrounge, not to mention Cybax, and I like the mold that was used to make Lightspeed, or Lightsteed if you will, better. Plus I like to have my afterburner be orange. That's just me. A lot of custom work done on him. Very, very, very happy with him. And the last combiner, of course, Superion. It was the first one I made, and I said it before and I'll say it again. I think the combiner war started off with one really strong combiner being Superion, and kind of ended off with a really strong combiner being Bruticus. Now I know that there were some other stragglers here and there, but for kind of official main combiners, I feel like that was sort of the beginning and the end-ish. Also on this shelf, and you can probably see some of them there, I'm just going to lower this slightly. We have another one of those third-party Quintessons. They're great if you can get your hands on them. My custom Classics Universe Dinobot Starscream wife got me that a couple of years ago, I think actually for Father's Day if I'm not mistaken. I like them, absolutely dig them. We have Metal Hawk, Deluxe Class Metal Hawk, based on the Trigger Happy mold. Love it, love the Trigger Happy mold, so very happy to have this. We have Alpha Bravo, who I like. I have zero problem with Alpha Bravo, he's a great helicopter. And we have the questionable Prime. Yes, I know, most people will say, hey, that's the 35th anniversary Sound Blaster. Well, I removed the gunk and the Decepticon logo on his chest, and I paired him with a customized Siege Laserbeak into Hell Buzzsaw, and he stands as my Logos Prime. Yes, I know, it's not quite the right body type for Logos Prime, but Logos Prime could take any body who wanted it at any time, so why not this version of Sound Blaster? After all, he took a Sound Blaster body before, didn't he? And this may be one of my favorite shelves, yes, because this houses most of my Beast Wars collection. Granted, we already looked at a couple of them, that being the unintelligent duo of Scorponok and Quickstrike, though they are vicious, yes. Here we have more of the Maximals, being Optimus Primal as Optimal Optimus with the DNA Design Upgrade Kit. Plus we have the original Beast Wars version of Cheetor as well. We have Rampage, who was found while thrifting for $3, though he is missing a crucial piece, his tail that acts as a third stabilizing leg. Nevertheless, he is in excellent condition otherwise, yes. We also have Silverbolt, who I found for a really respectable price on the aftermarket, as well as Tigatron. We have a KO for Lio Jr. and, of course, a KO for Air Razor. Would the actual Eraser be nice? Of course, but it's hard to go wrong for $2 Canadian, yes. Then we come to my favorite half of the shelf. Ah, yes, my Predacons and I. Black Arachnia is sporting her animated look, which is fine. That works fine. No problems. Then we have a custom painted pterosaur, who's basically the size of a traditional Legends offering, though he does tend to fetch a hefty price on the aftermarket. I'm not sure why. He too is a moron. We have the 10th anniversary psychotic tarantulas, and admittedly this is one of the more difficult items that I had to really search for to find. We have Generations Waspinator, loyal and stupid, all wrapped in one, yes. Then we have the almost uncontrollable Protoform X, or Rampage if you will, though I think earlier I mistakenly called him Rampage. He's not Rampage, he's Depth Charge. He is Rampage, and admittedly, I have had to make legs for him because he too was found thrifting for $3 and did not have his legs. Though, interestingly, he did have the rubber treads. And then last, but not least, the absolute greatest of anyone on any of these shelves, glorious me. Yes, it is I, custom painted in all of his tyrannical Tyrannosaurus glory. It is I, Beast Wars Megatron. Yes, ha 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 ha. In case you're wondering just how far along we are, we're getting there. We're getting pretty close. We are now on the top row of shelves before we get to the very top of everything. And we're over on the far end where normally the Dinobots are. But they're not the only thing that's in the shelf, so we're going to come back down here. And we're gonna go over right there. That's where we begin this time around. We have 3 of the Dreads. One of them is Berserker that came out during the last night. The other 2 are from the Studio series. They're all terrible molds, but they look really cool. They're fine robots. If you can get them in vehicle, they're fine vehicle. They're not fun. They're not at all fun, but I'm glad to have them all the same. We have Studio Series Lockdown, and we have his orange repaint. It was some sort of a Sentry drone name given to it. We have Stinger, who I dig. I love Stinger. And we have the KSI Sentry. Behind them all is the formidable and fantastic Blackout. I love him. I think that's kind of it for the Decepticon side of things from that shelf. If we come over this way, you get a better idea of what we're kind of looking at here. Just gonna back that guy up a bit. Right down the bottom, the green guy is, I think it's Taraxodon. It's the little Pteranodon or Pterodactyl Battlemaster from Siege that turns into the axe. It's pretty cool. Figured he might as well go with these guys. We have my custom painted Age of Extinction Scorn. We have the Legends class? Yeah, Legends class slash. Besides that, the rest of these are my custom Black Mamba set. We have Swoop, Slag, Sludge, Snarl, and of course Grimlock. Great set in my experience. Starscream Wife got me all of them for the holidays just this past year. Instead of pins, there are screws. A couple of people have mentioned that on Snarl his combiner peg broke. Now here's the thing, I thought I had broken my combiner peg, but that's not what happened. And I don't know if it's worth you checking out if you have this set. For some reason, Snarl's combiner peg that's used is the same peg that's used with, if I'm not mistaken, Sludge. It's not exactly the correct one that should be there. It's not the one, if you compare it to the actual Power of the Primes, it's a different combiner peg. Power of the Primes is held together with a pin. These ones are held together with a screw. What had happened is the screw had come loose, so I just notched the ratchets back together properly, tightened the screw, and guess what? It worked fine again after, no problem. So it might be worth checking if all you need to do is tighten the screw. That's what I had to do. Besides that, fantastic set. Super duper happy to have them. Looking forward to getting the accompanying Slash. She's a bit bigger than this Slash, so we'll see how that works out, but that's it for that shelf. The next shelf is actually a lot of mini-bots and smaller characters, but still pretty awesome. And here we are once again. Sorry about Beast Wars Megatron, you know how he can be. Needless to say, you've kind of seen now the crux of my Beast Wars collection, and the crux of my combiners, for the most part, I'm happy with them. The CW line wasn't for everyone, the size wasn't for everyone, but it is fine for me. As for the Dinobots, I could not be happy with the Black Mamba set. I like the size, and I like the molds, to be honest with you. I think that it's pretty good. Now, what does that leave us with for our last part? Well, next time we're going to go from really some of our smallest of the small with a lot of Micromasters and Mini-Bots to the biggest of the big with the Titans. And in between there, a couple of Primes and a couple of Monsters. Stick around and we're going to have fun in the concluding part of my collection showcase. And by then you'll be after seeing everything that I own. In the meantime, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, use the donate link down in the description. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single day, you do make a difference. I hope you're making smart choices now for you, your friends, and your family. And I look forward, man, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premiere, or the old-fashioned way, right here inside the videos.